Right, hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek, and it's Friday night, which means it's Appointment with Fear night. And this week we're doing The Gate from 1987. But actually in the film it says 1986, but it's generally accepted to be a 1987 film. So we're going to look at that right after this intro. Right, I'm back. So, as I said, The Gate, you've probably seen it. I think everybody's seen The Gate, and everybody seems to like it, but to varying degrees. But I love it. I think it's a brilliant film. It's got really good special effects by Randall William Cook, who would go on to work with Peter Jackson quite a bit in Lord of the Rings and Peter Jackson's King Kong. And he also designed the terror dogs that we saw in Ghostbusters. So there you go. And he did supervise the special effects, the visual effects in The Gate. Right, so let's get it up, shall we? Let's get it up. Right, we're off. We're off and running. By the way, The Gate had a budget in 1986 when it was made of $6 million US, which isn't a great deal, is it? But that'd equal about $15 million these days. Right, so anyway, let's get the film on. As usual, we're not going to watch the film. I'm just going to go through it in a series of stills. I might play the occasional short clip. You've got to be wary of copyright and all that. And while we're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's all up there in the corner. Like and subscribe, share the video, drop a comment, all that stuff. If you join the live chat, there's nobody in yet, but if you join the live chat, send me a message. I'm a bit dark there. Let me put the brightness up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Right. So anyway, we're off with the film. Right, The Gate. Very uninspiring opening sequence. This just comes at us from beyond. I'll play this bit. Hang on, I haven't got the sound off. Oh, I'll tell you. And off it goes. And it comes on The Gate, and that's it. $6 million film, and that's the best they could do for the titles, is it? Anyway, right, so there you go. Randall William Cook. Special visual effects, designed and supervised by Randall William Cook. He did a really good job. Probably with not a lot of money. More credits, and there we go. I'll get the director's name up. I don't know how you pronounce this. Oh, God, when I'm ready. I'll get there. Come on, bloody hell. Oh, never mind. Anyway, directed by... It's spelled Tibor Takacs, but I don't actually know how you pronounce it. It might be something like Takacs or something like that. I don't know. But he's done quite a few films, but he's done a lot of TV as well. But he's a very talented director. See if I can see it. There you go. I've no idea how I pronounce that. Is it Tibor or Tibor? I don't know. Takacs or Takach? I don't know. But he's a Canadian director, despite his name. Obviously of European descent. But anyway, we start off in a neighbourhood. Apparently it was filmed in Toronto. It's a Canadian-US co-production, but I think it was mostly done in Canada, I think. This is a Toronto suburb, I should imagine. But the insides of the house were on a soundstage, which is usually the case. Right, this is a young Stephen Dorff, who would go on to play the bad guy just 11 years later in Blade as an adult. But here he is as a kid. I don't know how old he is here. He's supposed to be 12. He looks about that, doesn't he? And it turns out this is a dream sequence. He arrives at home on his bike and he goes inside. There's nobody about. There you go. Basically, we're exploring the house, but it's a dream sequence. He's having a dream. And he goes into his, I think this is his sister's room, and he sees this rocket here. I forgot what they call But this plays a big part in the film later on. It was a gift to him from his sister because he likes rockets. And then he goes down to the basement. These pictures here all play a bit of a role later on when the bad stuff starts happening. There's a music video playing on the TV. It's called, I can't remember, so like No Pleasure by Eva Everything or something like that. And just as he turns away, I don't know if it was just a coincidence or this was meant to be, but just as he turns away, boom, scary eyes appear on the TV. I don't know if that was just a coincidence or if that happens in the music video or what, I don't know. But it's kind of spooky, isn't it? Kind of spooky. Right, then he goes back up to the kitchen, there's food on the table. And then he goes out, and there's a big old tree in the garden, a bit like the poltergeist tree, isn't it? But it's got a tree house in it. He climbs up into the rickety old tree house, and then the tree gets struck by lightning, as we will see. Oh, there we go. It gets struck by lightning. The tree falls down, because bloody mystics from useless. There we go. Tree falls down. Look, with him in the tree house. And then he wakes up thrashing in bed. There he is. And we hear the noise of chainsaws and buzzsaws and stuff like that. And outside, some men are chopping up the old tree from the back garden. So there's no tree in his back garden now, and no tree house. So his parents are obviously horrible people. I don't know why they're getting rid of the tree. I don't know. It doesn't explain it, I don't think. They just are. Because they need there to be a big hole in the ground. So he goes and checks it out. It's obviously getting under the feet. No safety precautions. Look, they're pulling up the roots. It's just there. And out of this roots falls a geode, as we will see. And he picks it up. There it goes. Back it up, keep it going, back it up, that's it. Good subtitles, you just needed to know they were saying that. And there he is, he picks up the geode, look. And that has significance, as we'll see later in the film, thanks to heavy metal albums. It's crackers. Anyway, so he's got this geode. And then he calls on his friend, Terry, who's into heavy metal, as you can see. Nice denim jacket there. And they decide they're going to dig up the hole. Because the fellas, they took the old tree away and they filled in the hole that were left from the roots. And put some grass turf over it. And now they've got to dig it up. Because they want another geode. Because he says he could get $100 for a good one. Don't know how he knows this. But anyway. So they start the digging away. And it uses the spade and there it goes down and all green smoke comes out. Then you hear this noise. And obviously there's something down there, and I think he probably thinks it's rats or something like that. But he hears like, chittering noise. But we all know what it is. It's something wicked and bad down there. This is his sister Alexandra. Hang on. By the way, Terry is played by Lewis Tripp, and Alexandra is played by Krista Denton. She's 15. I think Lewis Tripp's supposed to be the same age, 12, as Glenn. Stephen Dorff plays Glenn. But she was actually 15 when she did this. So there you go. So she was cast to type. Anyway, so she's talking to the boys. He's got a rocket there. As I said, he's into his rockets. I think that one's broken. So it goes in the bin. And Terry is collecting moths. I think these were from, I don't know where they were from, but he's collecting, putting them in a jar. And he says, I wonder how long they can live without air, because there's a bit of a cruel little kid, to be honest. But he's not a bad kid. But any road up. This is the fly catcher thing. It has some significance, as we'll see. Now, Dad sees the hole that they haven't dug that hole. It just all collapsed. They got so far and then it collapsed. So Dad's not happy. So he's asking them, telling them that Glenn's in trouble with Lewis, with Terry. But anyway, the parents, mum and dad, are leaving for the weekend. They're going for 3 days, and they're putting Alexandra in charge. And here they are, they're wondering if that's a good idea, and should they get like an adult in to babysit them. But Alexandra says, she can do it. So they relent, and so they're going to go. Don't know where they're going. They're just going away for a long weekend, away from the kids. So that's agreed upon. Glenn's not entirely happy about it. He's got the feeling that something bad's going to happen. Maybe he's psychic. Maybe the house, maybe with it being the gate to hell in their garden, maybe bad things or weird, spooky things have happened quite a bit for him. I don't know. Here he is, Glenn, talking to his dad, and he's sharing his concerns, and he says Terry told him a story about how when they were building the house, a workman died, and he was walled up in the walls of the house. And his dad says that's not true. It's just Terry's just saying things to scare you, because apparently Terry's mum died recently, and he's struggling to cope. So he's saying crazy things just to scare Glenn. Right, so anyway, next day, he tucks him in and stuff, off he goes. Next day, the parents are buggering off. Here they are. And by the way, they've got a dog called Angus. Dog's called Angus. Oh, you can't see him behind, but you can just see him there. And as an old dog, he's supposed to be 97 in dog years, which I think is about 14 in human years. I don't know. Anyway, they're going. Don't know where they're going. Dirty weekend, probably. Leaving the kids by themselves, and said no parties. And then next scene, she's having a party, obviously, because she's a teenager. Angus is going around eating all the crisps and stuff. And look, they're all having a good time. Alexandra gets rid of Angus, sends him upstairs where Glenn and Terry, Glenn and Terry are. They've got another. By the way, they've got another geode out of that hole, a complete one this time. And Terry's trying to break it open. There's Angus, bless him. But Terry can't open it. But Glenn does, just a smack of his hammer. I'll show it in a minute. There you go. She's just, forget it, and just hits it with the hammer. And bang, cracks open, smoke comes out, and it's all sparkly inside, and they don't know why. But, look, and things are happening with the gate, smoke's coming out of it. And they see that, hang on, I've gone too far, because I'm an idiot. Here we go. See if I can catch on it. There we go. One of them, remember these? Can you still get these? I don't know, but when I was a kid, these were a big thing. It's like a magnetic drawing pad. And, you drew on it. It's like, it's got like iron filings on it inside or whatever. And you draw on it, and then you can erase it and draw on it again. And after they did the geode, this pattern appeared on the pad. And it says, I can't remember, Aka something meta. And there's some symbols and stuff that they see, and so they think that's a bit spooky. But they think nothing of it. Then smoke appears out of the hole, and I think we hear the chittering again. But the party continues. Anyway, Glenn and Terry sneak downstairs to see what's going on, and this fella, who looks about 30, is telling a spooky story, and they don't care. They care, but it's inconsequential. And this here, I think this is Valerie. I think I don't know, but she says weird things happen all the time. I believe all this. She's seems to be a bit of a nerd. So they decide to do some levitation just for fun, as you do. So they get Glenn in because he's the smallest. Do some levitation, and There you go. They lift him up, and he goes flying up into the air, and then he carries on going and hits the ceiling and breaks the light, and runs away crying. There he is. Look. He goes, but stuff like this always happens when your parents are not around. So got some explaining to do, but he runs away. He's embarrassed. Anyway, Alexandra calls an end to the party and sends everybody home. And Terry tells her that Glenn's upset because everybody saw him crying. So anyway, so she tries to calm him down, but anyway. Right, what happens next? Right, they're in bed, and I think the moths disappear from outside, from their jar. We're going to see it now. Some moths are on the window there, but remember there's the moths in the jar flying about, and as we watch them, or have we got past that bit? I think we've got past that bit. See if we can go back to it. There were a bit. Oh, there we go. See, I've gone past it. It was miles ago. This is when his dad were in the bedroom, and as we look, we see. There you go. The moths in the jar flying about, and then they just disappear for some reason. Don't know why. It's just supposed to be spooky, I suppose. Is that like a Godzilla Halo monster? Oh, you can't see it from your things. Never mind. There you go. The moths flying about, and then as we watch, they just fade out into nothing. There you go. You ready? There they go, and they've gone. Don't know why. Don't know why. They just have. Right, where were we? Right, get back past this bit. Right, this what happens now. We see some moths on. Oh, for God's sake, I'm too far again. Right. There's Alexandra looking at herself in the mirror. This is Terry, I think, going to the bathroom. Remember, Terry's left the room. Right, you're remembering. Glenn sees these moths on the window, and then as it opens, he opens the blind. We get to it, and then the window smashes. There's the dog, Angus. Anyway, while Glenn's going to look at the window, Terry sees his mother. Remember, his mother's died. Anyway, sees a vision of his mother, and so she's saying, "Come to me, Terry," and like the dancing or whatever. You know what I mean? Hugging, embracing. Anyway, as he's embracing and twirling round, he opens his eyes and he sees it's Angus the dog, who's dead now. Angus has died. And he screams, they all come running out. And so they're all very sad because Angus has died. Terry says he's sorry, and he says, well, he were old, he were 97 in dog years. Anyway, he goes home, does Terry. This is Terry's home. Killer Dwarfs. I think I've heard one song by them. They were quite big in the 80s. I think they're a Canadian rock band. Anyway, goes home. There's a note on the fridge from his dad saying, there you go, Terry, gone on business, back later, Dad. So I get the feeling he's a bit neglected, is Terry. I've got a feeling his dad's not there very often. Glenn's obviously upset about Angus, and he wants to phone Mum and Dad, and Al doesn't want him to. She says, you're not phoning them. He says, well, I will if I want. And she says, no, you're not going to. Meanwhile, Terry is listening to his album, his Sacrifix album. This is where he gets all his information now going forward, because he just happens to have this album. Anyway, he's listening to it. And I did actually try and find, because he starts quoting some lyrics, and I did actually try and find out, is this, was this a song created for the film? There's nothing, it says nothing at the end of the film. I've looked on IMDb and Wikipedia and all that. I've searched on Google. I've no idea. I've no idea who did this music. See if we can hear it. I've no idea who it is. I don't know. Anyway, here he is. He's quoting some lyrics. The song goes into a bit of a spoken part, and then he realises it sounds familiar. So he goes and looks in the album. The album's called The Dark Book, and it's got a gatefold sleeve, good old vinyl, and it's got all this information in this album. And luckily, Terry just happened to keep that little magnetic thing that had the iron filings patterns on, and he finds all that stuff in this. There we go. He's looking there. He finds it all in this album. Oh, for God's sake! While he's reading that, the album's doing some backwards speech. See, I've gone too far now. Look, gone too bloody far now. Anyway, he's getting all the info, and it turns out later on that this band were into, Satanism and all that, and then they all died in a plane crash after releasing this album. Of course. Right, meanwhile, there we go, back at Glenn's house. Al's got two friends there, and obviously Glenn doesn't like them because the waste of space, and he fancies Al. Glenn don't like him either, calls him the F word, and it's very funny. He's still saying he's going to call Mum and Dad. They're saying, oh, you pooped your diaper or whatever. Anyway, they decide that this fella is going to take Angus's body to the vets, the animal shelter. And they're going to go to the mall and meet him there. But he gets to the animal shelter and it's closed. Must be a Sunday. So he brings it back and he stuffs it in the hole in the back garden, as you do. He's found this. Glenn's found this Sure compact launch system. Eliminates fuses, no false starts. We need that later, but in the meantime, he just throws it under his bed. Right, he comes downstairs. This is sparking away. I'm going to see it. We're going to see it sparking away. There we go. Sparking away, and I don't know why. Well, obviously insects eating, and it's bothering Glenn for some reason. I don't know why, so he unplugs it. As we'll see. Come on, pull the bugger out then. There we go. He unplugs it, and but I think it still keeps sparking later. Right, he sees the hole's back. And then he's going to go outside, and Terry meets Terry at the door. They frighten each other to death, and they come out and say, oh, look, the hole's back. And Terry says he knows what's going on now because he's read that book in his album, and he says it's all about demons. He says you've got demons, and everything that they've done, everything that's happened is going towards summoning these demons. Because when they were digging the hole, Glenn cut his hand, so that's a blood sacrifice that started off. Then there was some levitation, and there's like an actual sacrifice, which is what happened to Angus, and other stuff as well, and incantations, which they said, the words on the little magnetic iron filings thing. Anyway, so they try and cover up the hole. Anyway, this is him getting to the animal shelter. It's closed, so he goes back and he buries Angus's body underneath that wood, and covers it up with the turf again. I think this is Terry showing him his album cover. Right, here's the creepy part. This is their only album. They all died in a plane crash. There he goes, showing the this is that Lord of Demons or whatever. I think they're going for like a Cthulhu type creature here. We do see it later on. It's it's all right. But he's holding the geode, so they found the geode, remember, and then
Harry, come on.
hang on, let me take the audio off. he points something else out. Lyrics in the album tell you how to summon the demons, as they do. Because in America, in the 80s, that they didn't like heavy metal, did they? They thought we were all summoning demons. Left, right, and centre. Certain time when the constellations are aligned, and apparently it's right now, and you can open the gate and let the old gods, those are the demons, come through. So there you go. And apparently it's now. So it's going to show him, all the things. That, and they said, we did it, look. So there you go. They're going to come forth and take possession of this vile world. Well, let them have it. Right, this is... He's brought Angus back home, and this is when he shoves him in the back garden in the hole, thus sacrificing Angus to the old gods. This is Terry still telling Glenn about what's going on here. And he's playing the record backwards, because they've got to have that as well, haven't they? So wonder Sammy Kerr didn't appear. Here he is. Right, so he's done that. Look, he's all a bit dirty and dusty because he's been digging. Right, Glenn's back home now by the looks of it. They're going to check the hole, and I think they find that it's all filled in. They're saying the words to try and close the hole, close the gate. And Al's asking what they're doing, and I think they move the wood, and everything's all back to normal, and they think it's worked. Look, they move the wood out of the way, and they think it's worked because everything's all back to normal. The hole's gone. Look, and it's all hunky dory, but that's not exactly what's happened. Oh, for Pete's sake! So I wait for the subtitles to go off, because if I there you go. Right, so they think that it's worked. They think everything's hunky-dory now, so they go back inside. And she says, shall we fire off a rocket? So I think that's what they do. Got this rocket here, she's got him a new one. And he fires it off, and it's all happy families, and everything's lovely. So 3, 2, 1, are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and off it goes. Woohoo! Blast off. Yay! And it comes back down with a parachute, I think. So he looked genuinely pleased with that, didn't he, Stephen Dorff? Or is he just a really good child actor? There we go. Here it comes back down now, look. That's better than the British space programme, is that? So we fade to black. We think everything's all hunky-dory. Right, so this is Glenn and Terry, and Terry's found Glenn's dad's gun. I can't actually remember what he's looking for. What's he looking for, Glenn? I can't remember. I've just watched this an hour ago. But he's looking for something. I'm sure we'll find out in a minute. Oh, that was it. It's the Thunderbolts. That's it. That's what I think that's what he was looking for. These Al's friends they've all made themselves up, and they think they look like clowns or something. Anyway, so they go to sleep. See, Glenn's still reading that. That's the book that was in the album. Terry's reading a comic. So they've kind of switched now, haven't they? They've kind of switched characters, should I say. So what Glenn's reading, he's reading about the imps. We see those soon. That's the Lord of Demons or whatever. As I said, I think they've gone like a bit like a Cthulhu type creature, and it didn't quite work out. But because it's a bit of a damp squib, to be honest, is the thing at there. But it's a good stop motion. But we'll get to that later. Right, this photo, we see more of that a bit later. Oh, but this is his first indications of the imps, just in shadow. There you go. So, it hasn't worked. They haven't closed the gate. So, right. So, anyway, Anyway, he wakes up. There's Glenn. The shutter opens by itself, so he goes up and closes it. And then when he looks again, there's some moths. It comes up again, and there's moths all over the window. And then the window smashes, psh, just like that. And then they blow some wind in his face. And luckily, he doesn't get cut or anything like that. So he goes to get Al, and they try and wake Terry up. And remember, we saw him earlier. He gets up in the night to go to the loo or whatever, and but they think he's in bed. But he appears behind him, says, "What are you doing? What are you done to your hair?" And because he's got some purple colouring in the hair. And when they look, so obviously he's not there in bed. And it's they pull the thing back, and it's Angus's rotting corpse is in the bed. So they're all disgusted at that, as you would be. So they run downstairs and outside, and they see Mum and Dad outside. And this is probably the most horrific part of the film, this, to be honest. Here we go. Dad picks up Glenn, starts throttling him, saying, "You've been bad." So Glenn grabs hold of his dad in the face and mushes all his face in. As you'll see, there you go, like that. A bit gruesome, but then his head falls off, and it gets all goo on him. His mother's laughing and cackling hideously. Then the head falls off in her. There she is, look, cackling. Then the head falls off and lands in a gooey pile. Ugh. That's probably the most horrific, gory bit. I know there's no blood or out like that, but there you go. So they run back in the house. So everybody knows that something is amiss now. They've gone, by the way, when they look back out. Oh, then all the lights go out. What's happening now? Terry's looking out the window. There's nothing going on. I don't think they've seen the imps yet, I don't think. Or have they? I don't think they have. They're going to go check outside anyway. Yeah, she's going to check outside his Al, because she's in charge. All right, we see the imps now. She goes and she's looking about, and oh, there we go. They see one through the window, but I missed a bit with some good forced perspective. Right, she comes walking out here, and she's looking around. She can't see anything. She doesn't look down, because you never look down, do you? I don't know why. I mean, I would. I'd be looking everywhere. Be feeding to standing in some dog poo or on a snail. Not worse than standing on a snail, is there, in the garden. And you hear that. You think, oh, God, I've just killed a snail. Anyway, so she's looking around. Oh, she looks down now, but in the wrong direction. Her friends are terrified. Oh, this is where they see... see, I hadn't gone too far. This is where they see the... oh, no, they don't. Right, nice bit of forced perspective here. Here we see some of the imps now, look. That's Al's legs, and these are... The imps are done with a combination of... there's men in rubber suits, there's some puppetry, and there's some stop-motion animation, but I think these ones are men in suits, and it's done with a bit of forced perspective. I think you can see the line, actually. It's probably there, probably that line there. That's separating, Al from these men in suits. They're obviously a lot further back. It's forced perspective. But it's really well done. It's really well done. There you go. Come walking up. So it's good stuff. Good stuff. It's really well done. And then the other two, they see one up close. And there we go. That's obviously a puppet or whatever, or whatever. Anyway, it jumps off. That was probably stop motion, wasn't it? I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Oh, pardon me. Anyway, they run inside. Oh, there we go. And all the imps were running at them, and they slammed the door. And one of the imps, I call them imps. I don't. Are the imps or demons or what? I don't know. I've always called them imps. Gets his arm stuck. And as we watch, this is stop motion. Really well done. The arm falls off and turns into little things, then go back under the door. It's really cool. I do think it's cool. So they're amazed at that. And my cat's at the window, of course, because I'm doing a show. Anyway, Al, the phone rings then, and Al answers it, and it's Dad, and but it's the voice just says, "You've been bad," and there you go, she's answering it. Look, and then the phone bursts into flames. Good job it didn't burst into flames next to her ear, isn't it? As we'll see. "You've been bad." And she holds it away, and then it bursts into flames. There you go. Good job that didn't happen next to her ear, isn't it? And then the phone on the wall, that all melts as well. So they're terrified. They don't know what's going on. And so what you said was true. So what do you think? You know, about the demons. Terry says the album with all the instructions in is in the basement, so they go down to the basement to get it. And this is when I think they see the photo here. Remember the photo on the wall? They're all happy family. She looks at it now. Or in a minute. It must be in a minute. He gets the album. Oh no, they see it there now. Look, see it there. See, I've gone too far. Look, for Pete's sake. Right. I've got to keep stopping and starting, or you see, I'll get a copyright strike. That's what I've got to do. There we go. We see the picture on the wall, the photo, the family photo, and as you see there, they're all dead, all covered in blood, apart from Glenn, who's fine. We'll see why later. Glenn's the chosen one, you see. Anyway, the album's there on the floor, so Terry picks it up. There it is. Terry picks it up, and but it bursts into flames. There we go. Turns to ash. So that's that done with. They can't reference the highly informative album now. It's a waste, isn't it? So they decide to use the Bible. So, you know, why not? Terry says, these gods are older than the Bible, but they say, well, what else have we got? So, but they aren't. So they use the Bible. They say, well, look, we went to Sunday school. That's what happens. So they go back out. I think they're going to use some psalms or whatever. They're going to say some holy words over the gate. And so that's what they're doing. They're going out there now. Oh, look, all purple lights coming out now from it. The two her friends decide to stay inside because they're too scared to go. So they start saying, Terry starts reading from the Bible, and these purple lights appear. And there you go, all that happens. And then Terry obviously gets too close to the edge and falls in a minute. Oh, that's it. That looks good, doesn't it? How do they do that? Is that like carbon dioxide? I don't know. To get the all the smoke to go in the hole like that. So I don't think it's not like reverse or out like that. I think it's just, you know, heavier than air gases, isn't it, that are just blowing into the hole. Is that how it's done? I don't know. I'm not a special effects person. Any road up. Oh, see, I've gone too far already. Look, gone too far as usual. Right, this is it. This is Terry getting too close to the edge. He says, "Oh, stop being such a wuss. Get back." And then he falls, obviously. There he goes. So Terry falls in the hole. There you go. Falls down. Long way, by the way. He's going flying down this hole. It does look cool, I must admit. It's 1987, remember. 1986 when it was made. Anyway, he lands. He's fine. He's fine. But then, obviously, this underground area is obviously swarming with imps. So they're just from underground, are they? They're not really from hell. They're just from underground. I mean, hell is like another dimension, isn't it? People say it's underground, but it's not really, is it? Coal miners go deeper than this, don't they? They're not in hell. You know, the biblical hell. So anyway, here he is. So he sees an imp comes trotting up to him. There we go. And it's cool music as well, but it's playing sort of do quite spooky music. But look, good. Again, Must be forced perspective. I'm guessing they're false legs, and this is real Terry. Lewis Tripp there. I'm guessing. But I'm guessing the false legs, I think. So I was looking at it. He's got a very cartoony face, hasn't he? You can see him in that. It'd be easy to draw as a cartoon, wouldn't it? Would Terry. So he like goes waving at the imp. And the imp's not really interested. And then another one comes and takes a bite out of his leg. There we go. And go, ah! And then he gives it a whack, look. And then another one comes behind him. There we go. This is obviously a puppet. That has a bite. So he throws that one as well. And decides it's time to start climbing. So I think we have another bit of forced perspective here. A bit of visual jiggery pokery. Right, so we're going to start climbing out. And we see Teddy climbing, and we see all the imps trying to pull him back down. It's really well done. It is really well done. So we'll make sure we're still going out. We haven't been stopped. So here we go. This is where we see him being the grabbing his leg. We go grabbing his legs. So I'm guessing here now that's a real leg, because it looks like one, but this will be a fake leg, an oversized leg that these men in suits are pulling on. That's what I'm guessing anyway. It looks like it, doesn't it? But again, it's still well done. See, they're putting some wood down, trying to get him out. It's not going to work, so Glenn goes and gets a rope. There we go. This is a nice pan down, as we see Terry there. They were panned down to obviously fake. So that's obviously still real Terry's leg, and obviously kept his other leg out of the way, so they could. There's probably a blue screen there, whatever. Tricks of the trade, and that's an oversized leg that they're pulling on. Like I say, really good stuff. That's what I think. I'm really impressed with this film. $6 million budget. It's not a lot, is it? I mean, I bet them suits were expensive, because they've got quite a few of them. Anyway, so he starts climbing out. Oh, he decides to squish one. There you go, squishes one. That's good as well. I'm not entirely sure how they've done that either. Obviously, it's speeded up the little fella that look is squishing him. So is it a little fella in a suit going like that, and they've speeded it up with a big giant fake foot pretending to squash him? I don't know. Anyway, he recovers anyway, and he starts climbing out, and he escapes the imps, and they get him out, and I think Al's carries on reading from the Bible, and Teddy says, "Stop reading, you're making them mad," which is quite funny. Anyway, he gets out, and they've escaped for now. So he carries on reading, but he don't know what to read, so I think he just throws the Bible in the hole, and that seems to do the trick. There he goes, throwing it in the hole. I think there's a bit of an explosion, and it all quietens down again. There you go. They're blown off their feet, but I think they think that's done the trick. If everything else fails, throw a Bible at it. But I think it's just made them more angry, to be honest. The forces of darkness. So they go back in. There you go. They think they've done it again. I mean, this is the third time they think they've closed the gate, but they haven't. The gate actually is moved. It's moved into the house now somehow. I don't know how, but it's moved into the lobby of the house, as we see in a bit. Pardon me. Right, so they come back in, and they think everything's back to normal now, and they find the two friends. I think the sisters cowering in a cupboard. The pantry or whatever. In a minute. There you go. I think we're going to find him. We're going to find him in a minute. Oh, right, they found them, and then these idiots appeared, and she tells them all to go. So everybody goes, so they're not happy. But it's just a way to get rid of them. So we're just left with Al, Terry, and Glenn, which is all we need, isn't it? We don't need these idiots. So they sod off, leaving the family, because, Terry is essentially a family member. His can smells for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway. Not smells horrible, it just smells different. Anyway. They're wondering how they're going to explain all this to the parents. The parents are coming home tomorrow, and how they're going to explain it. And it says, oh, we'll say I threw a football or something through the window. But the house is going to get a lot worse than this. A lot worse than a broken window before everything's done. And Glenn tells Al that she's better than Mrs. What's her face? The woman that they were going to have babysit. So Glenn and Terry is still looking at the geode, and I think he throws the geode at Terry, and Terry catches it. And as Terry catches it, this happens. Oh, hang on, see, I'll go back a little bit. There he goes. As Terry catches it, this happens. This fella comes out of the wall and says, "It's the workman." And Terry says, "I just made that up." So obviously, these demons, old gods are just, what's the word? Making your own imagination come real. Manifesting, that's the word I'm looking for. Manifesting your imagination. Anyways, he's come out of the wall, then he opens his eyes and he grabs Terry and takes him back into the wall, as we see in a moment. Grabs hold of Terry. There he goes, and Terry! And he's taking him away, look, dragging him off. And the wall seals back up, as we see, in a minute, as he takes him into the hell dimension, I should imagine, I don't know. I don't know where he's taking him. I think this is the basement, by the way, I think. Anyway, there you go. It's sealed up, look, Terry's gone. But he'll be back. Don't worry. And not in a good way. So it's to go find Al, I think. The house is full of smoke for some reason, don't know why. So what happens here? Oh, he comes out now, and all these the symbols. Remember the symbols that appeared on the little magnetic pad, and that were in the album artwork by Sacrifix. They've all appeared in. I presume it's supposed to be like blood on the walls. There you go. An eye and a hand. We see that again later. There's Al looking at her in the mirror, but then we see the workman. She thinks it's actually behind her. She looks, there's nothing there, but I think he comes out of the mirror. There he is, look, and tries to grab Glenn. I think they hit him with something. I think I can't actually remember. What does she hit him with? Oh, the ghetto blaster. She clouts him in the face with it. And we get another great effect here as he staggers back. Another great bit of force perspective. But a cool dissolve. I suppose that's how they do it. I don't know, but it looks really good. You ready for this? I think this is one of the great effects of all time. This, to me, it blows my mind every time I see it. Are you ready? Boom. Cool. I think that's great. Anyway, it's force perspective. So obviously it dissolves into these imps running about. There are obviously many little suits, and I think there's probably the force perspective line is somewhere around here, that dark area there. Oh, it might just be that part there, isn't it? Actually, you can see the line there, can't you? You can see the line where Al and Glenn are standing. They're obviously much closer than these fellas. Yeah. Actually, did I see a mistake there? Did I see a mistake? Ooh, let me go back and just check that again. See, I've gone too far. Let's have a look. No, I've gone too far. Never mind. I think I saw a little glitch. I think there were a little bit of a mistake. But there's a little. Oh, there we go. What's that? Oh, that's one of one of the imps in it there, shuffling about on his knees for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, it's another one to mistake. It was just me being blind and not not realising what I was looking at. So anyway, so these imps are there looking up at them. Anyway, they get out through the door, and I like the blink. There you go, the blink look. They're not like Ewoks. They actually do blink. I know they made the Ewoks blink in the special editions, but that don't count. So they get out. They do a nice bit here. Look, where she shoves one in. Look, that's a nice little touch. I think she was just in front of him. They made it look as though he were there. But it is cool effects and forced perspective. Remember, as I said, Randall Cook worked on Lord of the Rings, and there was a lot of forced perspective in that as well, wasn't there? With the hobbits and the full size people. So that's probably where his expertise comes from, or went into from this. Yeah. So there you go. Connections. So now the thing, what we're supposed to do now, and I don't know what they're supposed to do, to be honest. Then what happens? They go in this closet. I can't remember what he's looking for. He's looking for his dad's gun. But Terry appears in the closet somehow, and he grabs hold of Glenn, and he's trying to pull him in, look, and he's biting him, look, and he looks all evil, being turned into a demon, whatever. And she finds a doll. There you go, Barbie doll. Other dolls are available. It might not be a Barbie doll. Could be a Cindy. I don't know. I don't know anything about dolls. And she stabs him in the eye, as you do. Obviously, it doesn't show. It's no blood. It's like a family-friendly horror film. Is this? There you go. Stabs him in. Oh, there's a little bit of gruesomeness. There's no blood spurting. Little bit dripping. But anyway, so he disappears back into the shadows from whence he came. Oh, I came out of that bag, didn't he? I've just realised he came out of that bag. But he's gone back again. So there we go. So now then, what we see, what's going to happen next? There, the imps are watching from above. They found is that the rifle now? They found the rifle. I think the workman comes back again now. Is he going to come back here? There he goes. Comes out through the wall. I think she shoots him here in the face. There we go. Pooh. And obviously he's dead already, so it doesn't do much damage. There you go. Skellington-like face. Anyway, knocks the gun out of her hands, and I think he grabs hold of her, and she's taken away by the workman, and Glenn tries to stop him, and the workman just picks him up and just throws him like he's nothing. And anyway, so he drags Al to wherever he dragged Terry to. There you go. You can hear her saying, "Glenn, please help me, Glenn." So what's Glenn got to do? He's all by himself now. He's all by himself. So then he realises that it can only be destroyed, we learned earlier on, by love and light. The demon lord, but the demon lord's going to come soon. But I don't exactly know when. I can't remember. It's coming soon now, because the floor of the whatever it is, the lobby of the houses have lobbies. I don't know. This is like the doorway of the house in it. I don't know, the vestibule. I don't know, whatever it's called. It's all starting to fall. Look, more cool effects. You don't think about it when you see them, but look at it. It's cool. The cool effects, Spielbergian, like industrial light and magic style effects. These, in my opinion, really good. Look at that. Really good, well done stuff. Really, really good. And then they just disappear. But anyway, so it goes upstairs. And the stairs start collapsing and stuff. But then we get to see the Demon Lord soon. He's looking for the I forgot what they call it, Thunderbolt or whatever it's called. That big rocket, because it was a gift from Al. And there was a little note with it saying, to my favourite brother, love Al. So that's the gift of love. That's what can destroy the Lord of the Demons. There he goes. He's found it. Look, and he's found the launcher and a box of matches because you got to light it. There he goes. He's trying to light it, but the wind keeps blowing it out. Remember, he's got the other thing that he threw under the bed earlier on, the Shure launch, whatever they called it. But he's not using that at the moment. He's trying to use matches, and it's not working. Anyway, things are blowing about, and then there we go. We see that the imps start climbing out of the hole that's appeared in the middle of the lobby porch. I don't know what it's called. Doorway. In Yorkshire, we call it the door oil. That's what we call it. The door hole. Door oil. Anyway, so they all start coming out. Look, you're ready. In a minute, they're all coming out. And they're ready. Oh, for God's sake. Here they come. Look, there they go. There's one. And then loads appear and they start dancing about. There's some... Oh, you can't see. They're watching behind me. But loads appear to the left as well. And they all start dancing about and getting ready for their lord to appear. There they are, look. All getting excited and going, ooh. There we go. They start jiggling about. Look, they're getting it. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's the Lord of Demons. Are you ready? There he is. He's rising up. He's rising up now. So I'm guessing that the imps here are the little men in rubber suits. Well, they might not be little men, just normal men in rubber suits. But this Demon Lord is CG. Very reminiscent of, from the back, the Kraken in Clash of the Titans, isn't it? But that's where all the, some of the similarities end. Anyway. So I think he finds the Shure launch thing here now. There he is. There's the Demon Lord. He's appeared. And I think they were hoping to go for like a Cthulhu-type creature, but it hasn't really worked out, has it? It's not particularly slimy. They could have done like a... If it wants stop motion, they could have done like a real slimy, gooey, horrible monster, but they've gone for like a multi-limbed, dragon-like creature. It doesn't seem particularly intelligent either, but cause it doesn't speak. It just like kind of grunts and roars. But anyway, Glenn's there, looking at it, and it's kind of weird, to be honest. He tries to move, but the Demon Lord prevents that in a minute. So he's pointing the rocket at him. There you go. Cool stop motion, like I say. It's a lost art is stop motion. They should bring it back. He tries to crawl away this way towards us, but the Demon Lord stops him, as we'll see in a moment. They do a lot of looking at each other. There's a bit of a mouth breather, isn't it? He's the Demon Lord. Here we go. He's going to try and crawl off now. He's going to try and crawl away. Will you get on with it? There you go. And just stops. So, oh no, we'll have none of that. You're not going that way. You're not going that way. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to let you go that way. But then he picks him up by his hand. There we go. He's got his hand stuck out. So the Demon Lord picks him up. There we go. By his hand. His hand disappears. His arm disappears there. It's weird, isn't it? He probably had a blue... I wonder if he had a blue sock on or something there, and it's got rid of his entire arm. Maybe his sleeve slipped down and it wasn't supposed to. Anyway, so he's picked him up, and it looks like he blesses him. He puts the Demon Lord puts his hand on Glenn's head, as we'll see, as though he's saying, "I bless you." Oh, pardon me. But as we'll see, it's not a blessing. It's kind of cursing him, I suppose. He's giving him the... there you go, let's go of him. And then he goes back down as the Demon Lord. Goes back from whence he came. Are these supposed to... These here, are these supposed to be more geodes and stuff that are actually part of him? I don't know. Look like it, don't they? And he goes back down, and then Glenn looks at his hand. I better miss it. There we go. So we're going to look at his hand now, and we see, I don't know why, but he's got an eye in his hand. So I'm presuming he's now the eyes of the Demon Lord on Earth. That's symbolic of it. Remember, we saw the eye and the hand in the blood on the wall, didn't we? And apparently that's Randall William Cook's hand and eye, apparently. So that's how they've done that. Obviously, you know, special effects merged them together. Optically, so Glenn's not happy. So he says. He shouts, you know, take me. Why? He goes and looks out of his bedroom window, and we see the gate is now open, and because we saw it in the album artwork, we saw a picture of, you know, like it's supposed to be like a wood cutting of the gate with like stuff coming out of it, and this is what we're seeing here. Evils coming out of the gate and going up into the sky. Remember, this no CG in this, by the way. 1987, 86 when it was made. No CG. It's all, you know, real or animated. You know, it's that sort of thing. And we see all the evil going up into the sky, and it's spreading out. There you go. There you go. Going up into the sky. And I don't know how they do it. It's probably just cotton wool or something just spinning around. I don't know how to do it, and that's probably just oil in water or something. But it looks good. And so I was thinking, well, I've got to do something to stop it now, or evil's going to take over the world. It doesn't say that, but I think that's the implication. So he grabs some glass. Remember, we saw the window smash, so he grabs some glass. Oh, he sees this doll first. This doll reminds him of, I don't know, his sister. I don't know. But oh, and he sees the moths are back. Yeah, that's it. The moths are back in the jar for somehow. I don't know how. Maybe it's a gift from the Demon Lord, giving him his moths back, even though they were Terry's moths. But he throws it out the window. Says, "I don't want this. I want everybody back. Take me instead." He's saying, "Take me instead." And he grabs a piece of glass. Remember, the window broke earlier on. There you go, and all the swept up the glass. And he's going to stab his big fake eye in his hand. That doesn't look very real, does it? I mean, what's up with his thumb there? It's gone a bit wrong, that, hasn't it? Obviously a false hand. Not false hand films. There you go. Stabs his eye in his hand, and obviously that gets the attention of the Demon Lord once more. So Glenn is saying, you know, take me, but he finds the sewer launch thing, and as he goes outside, the stairs collapse and the rocket falls down. So he's got to get down to, you know, more things he's got to deal with. So we've got to get down these steps. Oh, there's the blood with the eye in the hand. And the eye in the hand, didn't notice that before. Anyway, so to get downstairs to the rocket, which he does, obviously. There we go. We see down the hole. We see smoke starting to come out of it because the Demon Lord's on his way back. There you go. And he sets up the sewer launch thing, you know, attaches the wires to the launching platform. I don't know how it's supposed to work. I mean, they were using matches before. How does this not make? I don't know. How does this replace matches? I've no idea. But it needs some batteries. It takes 2 D-cell batteries, and not included. So it takes the batteries out of his torch. We're going to see it now. There we go. Sees the torch. Takes his batteries out of there. Puts them in. And just in time because Old Demon Lord's back any moment. There he is. He comes roaring out. You stabbed my eye and all that stuff. Oh, what's that? Joshua. Sorry, Joshua. I've just seen your comment there. Where's Blade? I know, because it's young Deacon Frost, isn't it? It is. It's young Deacon Frost. All innocent as a child. What went wrong? He became a vampire. That's what went wrong, didn't it? Anyway, so he fires the rocket into the Demon Lord, which looks a bit crap, to be honest. It does. It does look a bit crap. There we go. So we're gonna see that. Are you ready? Cool stop motion. You can't beat it. Looks ace. Does to me anyway. But I'm a stop motion fan. Ray Harryhausen, Jim Danforth, all them. Love it. But this is William Randall Cook. Right, so he's there with his tentacles flapping. As I said, give him a couple of tentacles. I think they were thinking of like a Cthulhu type monster, but they didn't have the budget for that. Come on, fire the bloody thing. Come on, get on with it. Anyway, he's watching. You'd think he's the Demon Lord. He could swat him like a fly, couldn't he? But he don't. Anyway, happy birthday, Al, he shouts. It must have been Al's birthday. He probably mentioned it earlier in the film, but I never noticed. Hang on, where are we? There we go. What are you saying, Joshua? We started seeing this when you started. Still love this movie. Harryhausen is still the boss. Well, before he died. Oh, heck, what's happened here? Your stream has been temporarily blocked because we detected copyrighted audio. I don't think so, because I haven't got any audio playing. What are you talking about? Is it going to start up again? Let's see what happens, see if it comes back on. See if we come back on. Are you going to come back on? Am I still going? Joshua, can you hear me? Am I still going? It says stream unavailable for me. Oh, hang on then, let's have a look. Is there any way I can get rid of this? Our stream's been temporarily blocked because we copyrighted audio and video. See, I've gone too much with the audio and video. Well, I'll keep talking. Hopefully it'll come back on. If it says temporarily blocked, it might come back on in a moment. I'm hoping. So I'll just keep going. So anyway, so he fires the thing, and I'm hoping it's going. I'm hoping it's anyway. Let's have a look on here. Right, if I open this up, it might show us if I've still if I sign in with me other. If I switch my account to that one, hopefully I'll be able to see what's going on. Right, it says there I'm live on that one. It says I'm live there. Yes, I am. I'm still going. See, I've been talking away, but I'm still going. But it says my stream. Oh no, your stream is no longer being blocked due to copyright issues. Right, it says there. Thank you, I'm live on that one. Right, get rid of that. Right, so we're off again. Right. Anyway, where were we? So he's going to fire that. I will not do. I'll not play clips anymore because it's obviously getting YouTube in a TV. So he fires the rocket at the Demon Lord. There we go. He's going to do it. Happy birthday, Al. he fires it, and it goes inside. Oh, see, I've gone too far again. Why, yes, the Demon Lord has picked him up, by the way, at this time. See if it'll let me. Have I gone too far now? Let's go back again. Right, hang on. Or has he not fired it yet? Right, he's going to fire it now. Are you ready? Come on, get on with it before I get blocked again. There we go. Off it goes. Hey, make sure we're not blocked again. No, we're not blocked again. Live streaming, eh? There you go. I want to show you it going in because it looks goofy and it's probably the worst thing in the film, to be honest, in my opinion. Go on. Here it goes, look. It looks rubbish, doesn't it? It looks rubbish. Anyway, so it goes into the Demon Lord, and then the lights start appearing, you know, and it's obviously because it was a gift from Al of love and light. You know, the light's obviously coming from the rocket because, you know, the engine and all that. Not the engine, you know, the fire that's propelling it, and the love from Al loves her brother, and he loves her, and he loves Teddy and all that, blah blah blah. So this destroys the Demon Lord. I'm trying to find it. Oh, for God's sake! I'm hopeless. There he is. Anyway, so there he goes. Being throwing himself about, all the lights, and then sends Glenn flying out the window. Reminiscent of Poltergeist, isn't it? Reminiscent of Poltergeist. There you go. And that's the end of the Demon Lord. Or is he just banished back to the depths of hell? I don't know. But there he is. He's outside now, is Glenn. So he goes running back in. And all fireworks start happening in the sky above the house. And all the evil that were coming out and forming dark clouds and stuff, all that dissipates. All the fireworks sort all that out. Yeah, I'm sure it was a tricky bit to do, but you know, it still looked a bit goofy, didn't it? But you know, but you can't have it all, can you? You can't have it all. And there you go. There's the daylight's coming back. It's obviously dawn. The evil has been defeated, and but you know, everything's not back to normal. So he goes back inside. See, everything's all knackered. See, there's still a big hole in the lobby vestibule. What the hell is this part of the house called? I don't know. The doorway. Still a big hole there in the ground. But I'm presuming it's not going down to the depths of hell. But got some explaining to do. Anyway, Terry and Angus and Terry and Al come out of this cupboard. What happened then? There you go. Angus comes out. So Angus is back, and Terry and Al are back. So they come outside, and Terry says, "Do you think they'll notice?" And you know, they all have a good laugh, and the camera pulls back, and that's the end of the film. It's in the end of the film. I'm telling fibs, I forgot. Angus goes back outside. A tree's growing from where the gate was, and Angus has found Terry's boot. His boot must have come off when he fell down the hole. I can't actually remember. And that's the end of the film. Right, so there we go. So that's the end. I did try to find out about if there were any mention of, you know, the music that Terry were listening to. You know, the sacrifice. What's that? Foyer into the living room. I don't know. American houses. As I said, in Yorkshire, it'd just be a doer oil. That's what we'd call it. Anyway, so here we go. Have I missed it? Have I gone past the songs? There we go. No Pleasure. That was the video we saw early on in the film. No Pleasure. Everybody's Running. I've no idea what that was. Love Will Find a Way. I'm trying to think of the song that we're listening to by Sacrifice, and I don't think it's any of these. I don't think. Delusions of Grandeur. Was that it, maybe? Performed by Terraced Garden? I've no idea. I've no idea. True Confessions. None of these names sound like a heavy metal thing, do they? So maybe it was just made for the film, I don't know. But I know Sacrifice isn't a real band. But I did look it up, and there were like some people were saying there were a Canadian band called Sacrifice that did music like that, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. Yes, they are. But and Yorkshire English is even more entertaining. Anyway, so where were we? Yeah, so that's the end of the film. It's a great film. I love it. I'm going to go back. There we go. See if I can find any cool bits to pause on. Have we done? Oh, there's Terry's mother. Anyway, whatever. Right, so we'll leave it there. So, anyway, we're all done. So, The Gate, a great film. I did love it. It's amazing. They did do a sequel, The Gate 2, Trespassers, I think, but Glenn wasn't in that. I think Stephen Dorff had probably gone on to become a little bit more famous. But he were in it, or Louis Tripp. I don't think she were in it either. I've seen it once, and it's okay. I think we see the Imps again in it, but it's not as good as the original. But sequels rarely are they? But yeah, so you can check that out. It's I think it's out there in the wild, so to speak. The Gate 2 Trespassers. It's not bad, but it's not as good as this one. So that's it. This is one of my favourites. It's not gore. It's like a family horror film. In much the same vein as like Lost Boys and Arachnophobia. They're all horror films that aren't necessarily gruesome and stuff like that, or full of swearing and whatever. It's a horror film the whole family can enjoy. Monster Squad, that's another one, isn't it? That's got a similar feel to this. Anyway, so we'll leave it there. We will leave it there until next week. Right, so thanks for... hang on, what's Joshua saying? Think I've seen the sequel, but it would have been a long while back. Yeah, it's quite a while since I've seen it. I don't know how to get these to appear on screen. I don't know if I can. Anyway, never mind. Does that do out? No, I don't know. I'm new at this. Right. I've only been doing it a year. I'm hopeless. Anyway, so we'll leave it there. So until next Friday, I don't know what I'm going to watch next Friday. I haven't decided. Catch you next week, Joshua. Thanks for watching. I think this is the first time anybody's ever interacted in one of these live streams for my Friday night's appointment with fear. But I'll find something else for next week to watch and go through, and probably get copyright struck again. But we'll see how we will go. So anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, wherever you are in this cold, dark world, cold, dark hell we call the Earth, look after each other, and until next time, I'll say they. Hang on, I've got to find my outro. It's here somewhere. There.